And one thing about living here is it's much more of a draw for people to come and actually... Oh, bloody wind! Well, today I want to talk about homesickness. Lots of people say to us, oh, don't you get homesick living here? Well, the simple answer to that, certainly for me, is no, because this is my home and I'm not sick of it. I can't say I miss the UK at all, quite frankly. I didn't particularly enjoy living in the UK. I wouldn't really know where to call home in the UK. The area of England that I grew up in, West London, Hayes, it's changed beyond recognition from the way it was when I was young. Since I left school and I've lived in various places, I can't say that anywhere's really felt like home. The last place that Sue and I lived was in Fuerteventura in Northamptonshire, and we lived there 11 years. And after 11 years we knew the names of the two neighbours either side of us and the names of the couple that lived over the road, and that was it. We didn't know anyone else in Fuerteventura, well, apart from you, Matt Bailey. So what is there to feel homesick about? There's family, of course. You know, I'd like to see more of my son and his wife, and Sue would like to see more of her family and her grandson. But the truth is, we actually probably see as much of them now than we did when we lived in England, because she lived 200 miles away from her family. I lived 70, 80 miles away at least from mine. So with my son, for instance, we used to see him for perhaps 2 short weekends a year. Whereas now they come out for 10 days or so, and we actually spend a lot of quality time together since we've been here. When you live somewhere like this, it's much more of a draw. I mean, when we were living back in Northamptonshire, if I'd said to one of our sons, you know, do you fancy taking 2 weeks off work, using your valuable holiday, and coming and staying with us for 2 weeks in sunny Northamptonshire, they'd probably say, thanks, but no thanks. We'll come up for the weekend. But here, where you've got beautiful weather, lovely beaches, etc., if you say to somebody, we come over, it's obviously a draw. So they come and they enjoy it and they want to be here. Now, of course, you've got things like Skype to keep in touch with people. You can actually see them, talk to them as long as you like, cost you nothing. I remember when I was young, I have an uncle in Canada, and my mum would ring him perhaps every 2 or 3 months, and she'd actually have a timer next to her to make sure she didn't speak for more than 3 minutes, because phone calls cost a lot of money in those days. Well, things have changed now. Phone calls are relatively cheap, even overseas. So none of that is an issue, I don't think, anymore. You don't feel quite so isolated now than perhaps you would have done 30 or 40 years ago. We've been here 3.5 years now, and I've only been back to the UK twice, and both of those were for weddings. Had the weddings not happened, I wouldn't have gone back at all. I have no idea when I'll go back to the UK again. Perhaps I never will. Well, that's enough drivel from me today, so I'll say goodbye, and I better go and find where these dogs have got to. Cheers, bye.